that was just a show.
Huh?
There's like this. I said I guess that was just a show. There's this like TV theme that just gets stuck in my head just randomly, and it has since I was a child. It's Green Acres is the place to be. And then, like, I don't know, that's just like that jingle from it just gets stuck in my head.
What show is it?
The show's called Green Acres.
Oh.
And I've never even seen the show in my fucking life.
Or maybe you have. And it's just
Possibly
like
when I was a kid. Also, I mean,
subconscious.
I did grow up next to an area called Green Acres in Spokane, which is what makes me think of it. I don't know.
I get SpongeBob quotes stuck in my head a lot. And I text them to Indigo.
I love that. I love that so much.
The inner workings of my mind are an enigma.
No, this is Patrick. Okay. I'm recording all of this, actually.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, the lid.
Do exactly as I do.
All right.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We are two broken people today.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be. We'll try. We'll
We'll keep
there.
I mean, we got our Red Bulls. Do you like how I just like do it? It's like a, I don't know if that's an actual like stutter that I have or whatever, but I'm like,
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a new medication that makes me very sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm like an old man. All I think about all day is naps.
That sounds so nice, though.
And it just messes with my sleep schedule really bad.
Yeah, I bet. And I'm just hungover like an asshole.
And I have a pulled muscle in my back that came from my face.
You are an old man. It came from your face?
Okay.
Hold on, what?
I didn't tell you this story. So the other day, this is the only thing that like really has happened to lead to my back. I don't know. I don't think they're connected, but it's just kind of a weird train of events. So the other day we were walking big, and I had the biggest yawn of all time because of my medication.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that feeling you get when you get like a really good stretch, and you almost get that feeling like a rubber band, like your muscle's like a rubber band, it snaps.
Oh, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, you know, like you're dehydrated, and it's like a little bit of a. I got that in my face.
No, ow.
And it hurt like really bad, like, and so that for the next couple of days, my face just felt really weird, and then my neck started to kind of hurt, but then my face felt better, and then the next day, and then my back started. So it's been like just trailing down.
Jeez.
And I don't know if it's because I'm like compensating, like you know when you're like
you're overcompensating with another muscle.
So I think I'm just kind of sending it down and down. So
down.
That's still my favorite episode.
All right. Well, let's actually do our job.
Okay. All right, everybody.
So today we are talking about the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Woo! Looks like I wrote choral. Christmas choral. Muppets Christmas Carol released
1992. Yeah, December 11th, 1992.
Yeah. Basically full of song and dance, the Muppet crew teach Scrooge the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's got a 7.7 on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
In the year that it was released, it was number 62 within like the actual like calendar gross year. So like when it was released at the end of December, in December, so the end of the year. So like it was number 62 within like actual 1992, but then like in year calendar release going like into like 93. It while it had its full run, it bumped up to number 47, which I don't know. The Muppet movies aren't really like, they're just like they're fun family movies, like just kid friendly movies like that. Generally they're not like the biggest box office hits, you know.
Well, yeah, and I mean also a big thing with this too, that in this year Disney, which also this is a Disney movie.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I forgot that Disney kind of like bought or partnered with Jim Henson Studios at some point.
But it's like
maybe it's what killed Jim Henson.
Oh no,
That was a bad joke.
that was. Well, I was gonna say, like, I think the thing too that is kind of interesting is that this got beaten out by 2 other Disney movies because Home Alone 2, Lost in New York came out, and Aladdin.
Home Alone's not a Disney movie.
No,
No, not at all.
are you sure?
20th Century Fox.
I thought they owned them now.
I mean, they might now, but I mean, when Home Alone 2 and Home Alone were released, they were definitely not Disney movies.
Oh,
100% not Disney movies.
I thought they were.
No.
Well, okay. Well, then I was wrong. Well, then Aladdin beat it out.
Yes. No, Aladdin's actually the number 1 movie of the year, in calendar year. And then Batman Returns is number 3. And Lethal Weapon 4. Or not 4, 3. Lethal
Okay,
Weapon
I was like, something's not adding up here.
I'm looking at number 4, and I saw Lethal Weapon. Because Lethal Weapon 4 didn't come out until 1999 or so.
Oh wow, that's like a pretty big gap actually.
Oh, for the 4th one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, because, I mean, Lethal Weapon 3, it was kind of supposed to be the last one. There was rumors that they're still going to do a Lethal Weapon 5.
With them?
Yeah. Them really old. Well, I mean, Mel Gibson actually looks decent for his age right now. And also, just for side tangent, have you seen the trailer for Fat Man?
No, like Howard Stern?
No. Oh, I'm so, like...
Was his name Fat Man?
Oh.
His weird little superhero alter ego that
I forgot about that, yeah. We can talk more about this maybe on Side B next week, but Fat Man is Mel Gibson, plays Santa Claus, and it's like a drama comedy almost, and some kid hired a hitman to kill Santa Claus. So it's like Santa's all, it's like gritty Santa, like it looks so weird, and I don't know if it's supposed to be if it's supposed to be funny or if it's supposed to be serious, but it looks fucking bonkers. And the only thing that I could think about the entire time I was watching the trailer was the night the reindeer died.
Oh, I forgot from Scrooge. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and like I was like, oh my god, they actually fucking made it.
That's funny. With Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
That makes me, I don't know. I wonder if it's going to be like dark, funny in the sense of like the beaver.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, is it gonna, like how weird?
That's what
it's
called, right?
Yeah.
The beaver?
The beaver, yeah.
Yeah. That was a weird movie.
I still need to see that.
That was a weird movie. Sorry, we kind of went. Oh, and real quick too. Yeah, 20th Century Fox is owned by Disney.
Do you know when it was bought by Disney?
No, it just says it's now. But I was just like, whatever article I was reading was the way they worded it made me confused. But it's
I mean,
like,
because
now it's a Disney movie.
Disney owns the rights to Home Alone.
Yeah,
but dude, fuck Disney. Like, I hate that they've bought so much. Like, ugh.
I'm really curious when that happened because this right here just says November 13th, 2020. Like, did that just happen?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a pretty recent thing.
Oh, it sounds like it's cool. Ooh, this is interesting. I'll look more into this, talk about Side B, but it sounds like they want to do a reboot.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about that.
Oh,
did you know that Home Alone 5 just recently came out?
What? I had a. What was I talking? I was talking to family the other day, and I was like, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, they should make like a Home Alone, but like really adult, like a dark humor, violent Home Alone.
Saw?
No, and then I went The Collector.
Oh yeah.
And she went, yeah, that's pretty much like what that movie is. So I was like, okay, yeah, fair.
Well, it's like, it's like the fan theories of like how Kevin McAllister grew up to be Jigsaw, shit like that.
Never heard that before.
Seriously?
Mm-mm.
I thought you used to live on Reddit.
No, not really.
Oh.
No, I've never been that much of a Reddit guy.
I've never been a Reddit guy either. But
I only use Reddit for video game forums. Like,
That's
I can't get past something.
We're doing a really good job about talking about the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Going into Saw and The Collector. Yeah, so, sorry, okay, right back where we go. It was something about going back to, like, this release year, too, that I thought was kind of interesting was... what we go on a lot of the time is used to use boxofficemojo.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of just a cool site to look because it gives you all the total gross, the release dates, and who released them, like what company, and it's just kind of interesting. But what's cool about these lists too is that if you're going down it, because like even right here though, it says Batman Returns was number 1.
I think you're looking at calendar.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yes, so Aladdin and Home Alone, and then Batman Returns. But what's interesting about looking at these lists is that you kind of just really, especially if you just in your mind's eye think about them, you see how certain movies age really terribly and some that age really well. Because certain of these movies, I'm like, I didn't realize that movie was that old.
Like what?
Like A League of Their Own. Okay, is number 10 for 1992. I didn't
really.
I don't know. Maybe it's that whole what we were talking about it being a period piece.
Like, do you feel like it's newer? Or do you think like it's older?
I think it's newer.
I mean, I wouldn't think it's much newer than like at least 95. I feel like there's like a good like 3 to 4 year like window in between, like, you know, fluctuating between each way that certain movies you could definitely see it coming out.
Well, it's just weird to be like Bram Stoker's Dracula is almost 30 years old.
Yeah, but that movie didn't age well as soon as it released.
That's true. But it really just kind of blew my mind to be like, oh, I didn't realize that all these movies were like this freaking old. I was just like, oh, okay.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Oh, Death Becomes Her came out this year. Nice.
And that didn't age very well either.
Did it? Did it not?
Not really. I watched it not too long ago.
Really?
I mean, it's still great. Like, it's still really enjoyable.
I mean, it's got some crazy special effects for the time.
Yeah, and it's really funny.
Especially
really,
like when she's like turning her head around and stuff.
Oh, like their whole like undead fight scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. This is just kind of a year for movies, I think.
Check that off. Another good year for movies.
I didn't say that. I just said another year. This wasn't like a holy shit for me, but there was some cool stuff in here.
This year's awesome. It's got Wayne's World. It's got A Few Good Men.
3 Ninjas.
Yeah, man.
Have you watched that recently?
No, it's probably horrendous.
It's really horrendous.
We should probably review it.
It's really bad. I think I got like 15 minutes into it and I was like, I can't sit through this. But let's go ahead. I mean, let's see any other like.
No, I mean, yeah, that just, yeah. Let's focus on to the Muppets.
The Muppets. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do the writers. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Brian Henson first.
Okay.
Do you want to?
No, let's talk about Brian.
I mean, honestly, Brian and Jerry, and I even have like Frank Oz as like a top
That's
person
fair.
up here. You know, they really it's like the Muppets don't exist without Jerry, without Brian / Jim, and even really without Frank Oz, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Because, like, I mean, actually, really quick, I didn't realize. I thought Jim Henson passed away later than he did. I didn't realize that it was in 1990.
Oh no, yeah.
So which I was kind of thinking about that. It's like you weren't even alive.
No.
When he passed away.
Mm-mm.
And which kind of that just kind of like threw a weird like because how much you would like love the Muppets.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it was weird too. Like, this just shows on my stupidity. Is like it didn't click on me. I was reading a lot about actually Jim Henson's like how he passed away in his funeral.
Oh, yeah,
I was reading a lot about that. I was like, for a split second, I was like, man, I don't remember any of it. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I was pretty disappointed in myself a little bit.
That's hilarious. Well, because like I have like a fleeting memory of remember my mom hearing news about Jim Henson passing away because I was like 3 or 4, so it's like just like the hint of a memory in my old house with my mom.
Yeah,
talking about it because like one of my favorite videos to rent was Fozzie Bear doing stand up.
I didn't know that happened.
It's not an actual like stand up special.
Uh-huh.
It's just like it's just like a short little video. Like it's the Muppets, but like the one that I watched the most was Fozzie Bear doing horrible stand up. It's where I learned the knock knock banana joke.
What's the knock knock banana joke?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Knock knock.
Who's there? Wait, what?
Did
you do that on purpose?
No. It was funny though.
That was totally like, no, it's duck season. No, rabbit season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Fire. That was so good. Oh, so fitting for us while doing the Muppets too. Oh, fuck. No, it's pretty much like you just go knock knock, who's there, banana, banana. You just keep saying banana, banana, like not finishing it, and then finally you go orange, and you go orange who? I'm like,
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana. Oh,
yeah.
okay, I didn't know that one. Okay.
Fuck.
Okay, back to Brian. So yeah, Brian Henson is the son of Jim Henson that took over along with his sister, Jim Henson's company, Jim Henson Co.
Jim Henson Studios.
Okay. Jim Henson Studios after he passed away. And this was actually, Christmas Carol was his first debut directing credits.
Yeah. It's first time directing. But he had worked with his father. Through like the Muppets.
He didn't just randomly show up and like, I'm taking over. He was actually
it's my job now. See.
But so he was already a Muppeteer, basically, the part of the crew that worked with them. And he's actually what's kind of like weird to talk about all these folks too is that they obviously have done a lot, just writing and producing, but all in all, it revolves around the Muppets. And then there's little things that they did over here kind of randomly, but their entire career is completely absolved in
being like with the Muppets. Like Jerry only had what was it? He wrote for the Ed Sullivan Show, and like Jimmy Dean, like some other small little like from like 1948 is when he got his start. That's crazy.
Oh, the writer.
Yeah, Jerry Jewell.
Oh, yeah, and he started working for the Henson Studios in 61. And
71.
71. And then he unfortunately passed away in 2005.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But funny enough, his last writing credit was actually Turkey Hollow, that Jim Henson Company Thanksgiving movie about the enchanted forest with turkey creatures in them, which I was talking about.
We were talking about, a
little while ago.
And then Frank Oz, like he did, who does he do the voice for generally? Oh yeah, Fozzie Bear. Hey, yeah. Oh yeah, also Frank Oz was Puppet Yoda.
Yeah, he was Yoda. Oh, that's what I thought you were going to say, and then you didn't say that through
a loop. You're like, what?
Oh yeah, no, Frank Oz is also Miss Piggy.
Yes, and he his directing credit, he directed Dark Crystal, right? And why is it having? Yeah, here we go. Director. Yeah, actually, he directed Dark Crystal. He directed The Muppets Take Manhattan. He directed In and Out too. That's kind of funny.
What's In and Out?
Kevin Kline, and he's getting married, but like he's an English teacher. And like he has one of his like students becomes a famous actor, and he wins an award, and he thanks his gay teacher. And his teacher's like, Kevin Kline's like, I'm not gay, I'm getting married. And then it's like kind of like a weird back and forth of him like discovering if he's gay or not.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Okay,
it's really funny.
Also, Frank did a Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
The Dark Crystal. A lot of stuff with Muppets in it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like it's like these guys' careers revolve around the Muppets, and it's like because of the Muppets they have like jobs and whatnot. But like because of Jim Henson Studios, like doing more than just Muppet stuff. Like, they're a puppet studio.
Yeah, they're go-to for special effects for puppets and making puppets and puppet design.
Like Brian Henson directed the Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too.
I love that movie.
I still haven't watched that.
That's right, because you kind of don't want the innocence of like puppets ruined for you or something.
I don't.
I mean, the biggest thing to remember is that there are no Muppets in the movie.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that, but it's just like the aesthetic of them. I don't want to add raunchiness to it because also I like the subtle little adult jokes written in between. I like finding those.
No, there's not very many. There's not a lot for Muppets actually. Muppets is a pretty clean clean thing. Well, depending which version of the Muppets, like the original Muppets, I think is pretty clean. I don't, other than like being a kid and just like watching like a little bit of like the Muppets, like the original The Muppets that was in the 70s. I haven't really watched much of like, I don't remember much of like Muppets Take Manhattan, which I think would be the one that would possibly have the most like adult humor.
I've only ever seen the movies. I've never watched like any of the shows.
Well, I remember watching, there was the Muppets Tonight, which was on TGIF, ABC. Did you ever? You might be a little too young for TGIF.
I don't know what that is.
It's Thank God It's Friday. It was the Friday night block for ABC, where like Boy Meets World aired, Muppets Tonight, Step by Step, Family Matters, Full House. Like it was more like a late 80s, early 90s block of era for television.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's stopped maybe like, I think Boy Meets World was kind of the end of it. I think when Boy Meets World finished, I think TGIF stopped because they weren't making new Step by Step or Family Matters or anything like that afterwards. And Muppets Tonight lasted for I think 2 or 3 seasons, and it was kind of like if the Muppets, it had kind of like more like the behind the scenes of like it being a Muppets like stage show.
Okay.
And like that's where I sent you a long time ago when Kermit is doing like the impression of Talking Heads.
Uh-huh.
And like he does like almost like the entire video of you know what song I'm talking about? Yeah. And that's where that sketch came from, was Muppets Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't Kermit have a new talk show?
I mean, they just recently had like the Muppets TV show again. They did the Muppets in like interview style, like The Office.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
That was so funny.
I gotta watch that.
And it got canceled after like they didn't. I don't think its first season even like finished. I don't think it finished.
I wonder
airing.
why.
The ratings just weren't there. Like I don't know, the Muppets.
I feel like people are losing love for the Muppets.
No, I feel the same way, and it was kind of sad because like I thought it was like a great like way to bring the Muppets back in and like relevant, because like pretty much like that show was like Miss Piggy has her own talk show like Jay Leno or the Tonight Show or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Fozzie Bear was her like sidekick comedian. And so like even like the butt of the joke is that Fozzie Bear is a horrendous comedian and he keeps getting these comedian jobs. I fucking love Fozzie Bear. Oh my god. Mike Birbiglia has one of the best jokes about Fozzie Bear because he performed for like the Muppets in Canada, and he's like, the thing about Fozzie Bear is that he's a horrible comedian, but that makes him the greatest comedian. You can't follow Fozzie Bear. It's so good. Waka waka waka.
My favorite Fozzie is his rendition of the proprietor for the ship in Treasure Island, Muppets Treasure Island. Because he talks to his finger. There's a little man that lives in his finger.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That little man in my finger, Mr. Bibbo. And everyone just kind of stares at him like, the hell is he talking about? And he puts his finger up to his ear and he goes, that's a really good idea.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
No, that's actually an ongoing joke that Fozzie Bear, like, he talks to his finger. I remember that now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's an ongoing bit.
Okay. Well, that's the thing, too, is a lot of what you see in these are just kind of ongoing bits over and over again.
Like how Gonzo is, like, he loves chickens.
Yeah.
In a really gross way.
Yeah. Because even in this, he checks one out.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, Jesus,
not just
chickens.
He has a thing for chickens, right? I was like, I think so. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was just birds, and then we were talking about it. I was like, oh no, I think it's just chickens.
Yeah, because there's a like that puppet chickens that like it'll be around him sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And he's always like, whoa, like checking them out. Yeah, we kind of talked about this. This is going to become more of a Muppet conversation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, because this movie is only an hour and like 26 minutes.
Yeah.
There's
and a half hour of that is singing.
Yeah. So that's really it. So like we did our tangent thing again. But yeah. Jerry, Frank, and Brian are three of the main like Muppet people now. Yeah. And do you want to move on to? Do you have anything else to say about?
I mean,
anyone in particular?
Like the cast? Or I mean, there's the guy that does the voice for Kermit, who's done it for a long time.
Yeah, who replaced Jim after Jim Henson passed away.
Oh, yeah. When you said Jim, I went to The Office. I was like,
well, we were just talking about
what? He doesn't play Jim? What? Yeah, Steve Whitmire. Whitmire.
Well, the interesting thing, too, is like, so, obviously with Jim Henson passing away, that was a huge blow to the Muppets. I mean, he was he brought them together. He started it. He was also Kermit, who was probably, out of all of them, one of the most recognizable Muppet characters in existence.
Yeah, sorry.
What
I
happened?
just realized that there's a 2014 Muppets movie
Yeah.
with Ricky Gervais and Tina Fey.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I thought the last one that came out was the Jason Segel one. Wow. Okay.
What'd you call him?
I said Seagull. I don't know why. Jason Segel.
What did I think you said? What is his name?
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I was like, I'd totally watch a Steven Seagal Muppet. Jesus Christ, that sounds awesome.
Hey there, Steven. What are you doing over there?
I can't think of a Steven Seagal quote. Beating people up, old-fashioned style. You went in on this, Kermit.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Steve Whitmire took over. He is Kermit, Rizzo, and Beaker are like three main ones.
Oh, and Statler.
Which one's Statler?
I think he does both of the old men. Statler and
Walter.
Walter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's the Swedish Chef.
Yeah, the Swedish Chef.
I do that a lot. Which is kind of like a big deal too, because I mean, like Jim being Kermit's, like I was saying, the most like the most probably across the world iconic Muppet.
I mean, it was. I think Kermit was really. I mean, it wasn't Jim Henson's first puppet, but I think it was like. I think he, like that's where Jim Henson really got his huge break. Is on the Ed Sullivan Show, introducing Kermit the Frog, and he would sing songs as Kermit.
One day we'll find it. Yeah. But it was just kind of like, I was just reading something too that Steve, it kind of seemed like Steve didn't want, like, it was like, it's, you know, like when they,
Like he didn't want to take the mantle?
like kind of like replacing Freddie Mercury and Queen. There's just something kind of like weird about that because it's such an iconic thing. But apparently he had like a dream that made him feel okay with doing it. And I think that I definitely think there's gonna be a lot more Muppets in my life after this, because I just want to watch them all, and I kind of want to listen to OG Kermit and then this Kermit and just see how close they got, I guess, is a way of...
I mean, when did Jim stop doing the voice of Kermit? Because I feel like if you've seen, like, I think Jim still did Kermit in Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh no, so
or did like Steve take over like in the 80s?
Steve took over when Jim Henson passed away.
Okay,
in 1990. So
okay.
he was him for about 2 years before.
So you've probably listened to a lot of Kermit being
Steve, not Jim.
Yeah,
probably the majority of it.
No, I'm saying that you've probably heard a lot more of it being Jim than Steve. I mean, obviously not okay. Following not like
no, I get what you're saying. I'm trying to think of which ones I've watched the most.
I'm not just trying to talk about movies. I'm talking about just like bits and skit and whatnot.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like the Muppets, like there was the Muppet Show, and then there was also the Muppets movie, but like the early Muppets movie in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Muppets, there were like bits that they did through the 70s and 80s that.
Yeah, they would show up on other shows.
Yeah.
And yeah, that makes sense.
They like, how often were they on Sesame Street?
Oh God, I can't remember. That was so young. I haven't watched Sesame Street in such a long time. I don't.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. Would you? I don't know. I kind of feel like it'd be weird to have them cross over too much.
Yeah, I feel the same.
They're their own little worlds, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're both Henson creations, but it's like.
I just remembered this really funny bit that my friend Trey in high school found, and it was like a radio show like skit thing, I think, and it was Kermit the Frog and Big Bird getting stoned together. Like, Kermit the Frog here, man, I'm so fucking high. Today's word letter is joint.
T for toke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about the movie like at all.
Yeah. Do you want? All right. Let's. Oh God. Wait. Where are we at?
We're at cast.
Well, I mean, there's really not much more cast to relate. I mean,
So yeah, kind of like
Frank Oz, Steve Whitmire.
to talk about cast, you have to talk about all the people that are in all the Muppets.
Yeah.
And that would take. You could talk about that
For so long.
5 hours.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I
Because
mean,
even looking at their credit title, like if you look up their names and see what
Yeah.
they're in, it's Muppets this, Muppets
Yeah.
that, Muppet,
Yeah.
you know. So the only big one that the kind of to go into cast too is kind of interesting is this is the very first Muppet movie to introduce a live action human as the main character,
yes,
starring Michael Caine
yeah,
as Ebenezer Scrooge.
mm-hmm.
And there's just kind of fun about what Michael Caine's performance in it is pretty great because it's also Michael Caine. For those of you that for some reason don't know Michael Caine, I guess he's the newest Alfred in Batman, or like Miss Congeniality. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Prestige. I was reading
Inception.
Yeah. No, I was reading both of those. Perception.
The Prestige. They're both Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
So, oh man, could you imagine like Hugh Jackman running around in Leonardo DiCaprio's mind as a
yeah? I'm just trying to like.
as a mid-
Made my eye twitch.
Prestige, Inception.
One movie people forget about with Michael Caine that I think that if you like Michael Caine, you need to watch Harry Brown. Harry Brown's cool.
I don't know what that is.
I
think you've talked to me about.
It's a crime
about
drama
before, yeah.
That he's the main character in, and check it out. Harry Brown's it's pretty violent, pretty intense, but it's pretty cool. If you like crime movies and like revenge movies,
Is that one of his younger movies?
No.
No. Okay.
No, he's still the old guy in it,
Uh-uh.
but that's what makes it kind of cool.
He's also in Austin Powers.
Oh yeah, he's Daddy Powers.
Yeah.
I always forget about. If you look at his titles, he's been in some weird shit like throughout the years. Children of Men, he's the weird hippy dippy dude.
Yeah.
For like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't thought about the movie in a while. Do you want to go into your reviews?
Yeah, I only really wrote down one because they all. It's like, who's gonna really talk that much shit about a Muppet movie? I couldn't really find that. From an actual critic, I couldn't really find one that was. But Caroline Westbrook from Empire, vastly enjoyable despite the syrup-soppy song bit in the middle. Michael Caine is perfect in the role, and there are many genuine belly laughs. Which I was like, yeah, this movie that we picked isn't super dynamic, so
Yeah.
But it was, what's kind of cool about it too is when Michael Caine was spoken to about the role. There's interviews where he was basically, I was like, I'm going to take this as a very serious, Shakespearean kind of play, no matter what the silliness is going on around me. Because he said something like that would just make it funnier and more I guess dynamic. I can't really think of the right term, but it is really cool to see the stark difference of the zany, loopy, crazy Muppets, and then him as what you would imagine an Ebenezer Screw on stage, being the grumpy old, mean man that he is. I just thought that was kind of a cool.
Yeah. You ready for my review?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. What an abomination of a film. The only thing I can agree with and can grasp for entertainment is Ebenezer's swift way with words. Bah, humbug. A movie meant to bring Christmas joy and lift the spirits of the viewers. I'm just joking.
Did you just come up with that at the top of your head?
No, I prepared that.
I was about to leap across this table and strangle him. You don't talk shit about the Muppets. What did I just fucking say?
I could feel the tension so well. Oh God, I'm so glad. And I've been trying my best to not say too much positive about this movie until I get to my review, just because I wanted that to stick. I wanted that to land.
That was good.
Okay. No. So, in all honesty, The Muppets Christmas Carol may be the best retelling of A Christmas Carol due to its delicate work of portraying Charles Dickens' writing while still existing true to itself as a Muppet movie. Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge is everything you'd expect and more. His understated yet intense performance blends perfectly in a world where there are talking animals, creatures, and people made out of cloth and string. Using the idea of Gonzo playing Charles Dickens, an omniscient being that is aware of everything that happens in this world, and his rat pal Rizzo works effortlessly to narrate the story and move the narrative forward with quick moments of classic Muppet humor and make use of wordplay from passages directly from the book itself. The only moments of the movie that made me trail away were the musical moments, which ultimately is forced into the movie. They don't drive the story forward. They exist merely for the sake of musical or possibly Christmassy ideas. The movie covers almost all moments of A Christmas Carol. Some are not needed, they didn't pull out of the book. Just parts from the book that just meh. And it tells a complete story that is fun for everyone in the family.
I do not want to kill you now.
What an abomination of a film!
That's what got me. I was like, whoa. Like, damn, I don't think it's great, but way to shit on people's childhood.
No, I really like, what you were talking about with Michael Caine and like how he wanted to treat it so seriously. I mean, that is like one of the things that makes this movie so good.
Yeah,
is how Michael Caine truly did. Yeah, in all of the Muppets movies, like there are real people around and whatnot that they interact with every once in a while, but to have like a perfectly blended of world of like the Muppets and humans coexist and like the vegetables are like singing and talking and whatnot, and humans are just like, that's my vegetable patch.
Well, it's like, and also just I think it was a really smart company move to start leaning into that direction.
Yeah,
with their future movies and their shows, just because like I think that the having main characters that are human also weirdly make it more bearable for an adult. Like you're taking your kid to this.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, Michael Caine is in this? I love Michael Caine. Like, okay, I can sit in through this. Or Treasure Island, Tim Curry as Long John Silver. It's like, love Tim Curry. Yeah, I'll watch him be Long John Silver. Why not? And I think that was a smart.
And then, and then Muppets from Space. That was actually just more of a kids one. There was no like leading human in that.
The bad guy was.
Who was it?
The dad from Arrested Development. What's his name again?
Oh, what's his name? Michael Sr.
Yeah, like in his whole thing too is if anyone laughed around him, he thought that they were laughing at him, and he would like lose his shit.
And you've seen. Okay, also, I don't know if I had to have watched this movie when I was a kid.
Jeffrey Tambor.
Yeah, yes, Jeffrey Tambor.
That's his name. Okay, cool.
I had to have watched this movie when I was a kid. You know, just at some point. I mean, I don't think it's possible for you not to have. My mom loves the Muppets as well, but I don't know if I had ever seen the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, really?
As I was watching, I was like, this is all brand new to me.
Oh, that's weird. Was it magical?
Yeah, it was actually kind of. I teared up with Tiny Tim and everything, and and like I love Muppet humor though, because it's classic like vaudevillian slapstick, like like when Rizzo's jumping off the gate. And Gonzo's like,
oh, okay.
And then he's like, oh, I left my jelly beans back here. And like and then he crawls under the gate and then crawls back under the gate. And Gonzo's like, you could have just crawled through the gate the entire time?
He's like, yeah. God, you're an idiot. And just walks away. Well, so I just have a kind of a question for you.
Yeah.
Since we already went through Scrooge and we really talked a lot about the Christmas Carol, we're not going to do step by step. We're just going to kind of.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to do step by step.
Okay.
But I mean, I do want to bring up the Muppets that they did for like the Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Really quick, I do want to bring up, and I really like the verbiage, the word usage of Christmas Yet to Come,
as opposed to Ghost of Christmas Future.
Yes, because of like. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, like yet to come, isn't like a solidified thing. It
implies that you can change it.
Exactly. Yeah. When it's the Ghost of Christmas Future,
it's like period.
That's like that's solidified.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So you want to go through? Well, I was just gonna and remind me. We don't have to. Let's talk about them first. But I do want to remind me to bring up how you were saying in your review that the songs were just kind of there.
Yeah.
There's it's just funny you say that. Remind me, we got to talk about that.
Why don't we just talk about it right now?
Okay. So, where did you watch it on?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it on there as well. But what's really funny is that I agree. I mean, I agree in the sense that the songs don't need to be there, but it's a Muppet movie, so they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
But what's funny is
wait,
that,
is there music in Treasure Island as well?
Yeah.
Like they have that musical.
Dead Man Tell No Tale.
I've never seen Treasure Island.
What? You gotta watch that one.
I think the only Muppet stuff I never really watched much of the movies. I think my Muppet exposure has all been like shows and like sketches and stuff. The movies weren't really like I didn't watch the movies that much.
Treasure Island's great, like I was saying, because just Tim Curry is Long John. He's phenomenal. But going back to A Christmas Carol, you saying about how the songs are there without really, putting them in to make it Christmassy and, give it this whole like fantastical musical vibe. They actually took out a pretty important song.
What do you mean?
So, when you're in the segment of Ghost of Christmas Past and it's showing the whole love interest.
Yeah.
And she leaves him.
Mm-hmm.
There's an entire song. There's like a 3-minute song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, so basically it just shows her saying, "You used to love me," and walking off. And then it cuts to him and breaking down and Rizzo sobbing. She has an entire song explaining.
Oh, she has a song.
Explaining why she's leaving and like her perception of how Ebenezer's been acting and how the love has been fading. And then as she's singing towards the end, it's pretty long. It's not the greatest song, but it's actually, without that context, the entire scene, especially knowing that scene was supposed to be there, it doesn't make any sense. Because even then, at the end of the song, she's singing and she's at her last like verse of the song. Then current Ebenezer, Michael Caine, walks up behind her and starts singing along because he remembers it so well. Like, he didn't want to go to this memory because it haunts him. Yeah. And he sings with her, and then she walks off, and then he sits down, he starts sobbing. It was way more of a powerful scene, and they took out this
I would have never
chunk.
I mean, honestly, I felt like it transitioned quite well from what it did.
Well, that's fair because you didn't know it was supposed to be there. But to me, I was like, because even then there's a couple different times, like at the very, very end, they sing part of her song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you're like, the fuck?
There's the leitmotif.
Yeah, like what? But I just thought it was because I was like the one song that kind of needed to be in there. They took out of, but yeah, I just thought that was funny.
Music in like when you make something musical, like I mean even like for like most like Disney movies, like when they like the musical parts that they have in Disney movies, there's no need for that music to be in there. It doesn't push the story forward. It's just kind of like all of a sudden there's just a song, I mean not all, I mean sometimes it helps push the narrative forward, like Let It Go in Frozen. That song could be taken out of that movie.
I've never seen Frozen.
You've never seen Frozen?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I think one time we tried to watch it and I was very disinterested.
Oh, but yeah, no, you could like Idina Menzel, amazing singer. That song is amazing. Take that song out of the movie. Movie's complete. But might actually help the movie.
Some Disney people are sharpening their shivs right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
Well, like I agree with. I see what you're saying, but I think also when it comes to these kind of kids movies, I always find I do think it's fun to have the musical because I always find one that makes me want to watch. Like I love Aladdin only really for the genie song.
Oh yeah.
But like. It's cool. It's like showing his cosmic powers. Yeah. And it's fun and really bright and colorful.
Infinite cosmic powers.
Live in space. Yeah, but it's like a catchy song and it's fun, but I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I guess.
I mean, it probably more as the theater guy in me and knowing like being in musicals, directing musicals and stuff, like really like award-winning like musicals, like when this song is happening, it's generally because it's like it's to a point where like the characters they can't hold in their joy or their sadness or their anger anymore. It's like the music begins at an emotional turning point, And then what it does is it's supposed to either help carry the narrative, like the narrative of the character or the narrative of the story forward, not just be a thing about
break
that
into a
moment.
musical number.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know, when Sweeney Todd finally snaps and decides he's going to kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's his moment for a song.
Yes,
That's what you're saying?
it's his moment for a song. It's his character shift. It's where we're finding the tension and of the story, and it's moving the story forward as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So that's why it's like when I have a hard time with music in movie, like musical moments in movies like that just are just there for the sake of being there. Like the whole like the two Marleys.
I like that one.
I mean, it's a fun song, but like
Marley and Marley, woo.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong about like the music. I'm not like shitting on the quality of the music. The quality of the music is great. The songs are catchy. They're fun. But it's just like you could just have narrative there. You could just have dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's a kids movie. So like,
and it's a Muppet.
Yeah.
Movie.
So.
Well, it was kind of interesting too. Like I thought it was kind of a cool when you're talking about the music too. Is you had these tongue-in-cheek kind of kiddie songs, but then actually the score itself, when they're just the background music, was really good.
Oh yeah,
it made a really good like sense of like, especially when you're building up to Marley and the sense of like that they're coming kind of thing. The music is really like mysterious, and it's that the score like that was kind of a weird comparison. Like I could see this in like a fantasy video game.
Yeah.
like Fable, but it's in this Muppet movie. I just thought it was interesting. Oh yeah, but I guess to go into what you were saying too is that Scrooge's partner in this has been changed to Walter and
Statler and Walter.
Yeah,
and so there's two Marleys is the thing in this, as opposed to in Dickens' book it's just one Marley, just Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
Who is chained, who visits Dickens, and you will be visited by 3 ghosts.
Yeah, that was cool. That entire scene was just it was a cool to interpret internal damnation.
Yeah.
And
I mean that's how it's like described in the book as
yeah.
well. It's like he comes wrapped in chains.
But it was just cool, like I don't know, it was cool puppetry.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, and they're dancing, and if you don't remember who they are, they're the ones that
they're the hecklers.
Yeah, the old grumpy men that make each other laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the laugh, but it always is going to come out sounding like Swedish Chef.
No.
It's short. Yeah. But yeah, so they turned Marley into those two. And then what was kind of cool too is that for the remainder of the ghosts, they didn't pick famous Muppets. They made new.
They made Muppets out of the description of how Charles Dickens described them in the book.
Yeah.
Which which I thought was actually pretty cool. I did like, yeah, that was, although the Ghost of Christmas Past was terrifying looking.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be like this like
innocent, sweet, angelic like
creature, spirits.
Like, it's like this thing's gonna like haunt my dreams.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. She's like a little girl with long, flowy, wispy hair, and what they did was they took the puppet and they were filming her in a bucket of oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to get that
flowy look.
Yeah, that like.
Oh, that's cool.
But then it started getting really expensive to fill it with oil
all the time.
So they started doing water, which unfortunately made the puppet deteriorate.
Oh yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of interesting. That was like how they did that shot. But then she was pretty terrifying.
No, and he reaches out and like grab her
little
like
creepy
creepy Muppet hand. I was just like,
yeah.
Oh god, it's my strong hand. Dust me.
It was really creepy. And then like I
do want to really quick, like the dialogue that they have Michael Caine saying as Ebenezer Scrooge through majority of the movie is directly from the book.
Well, even Gonzo, a lot of majority of what he says is, except for little tidbits.
It's kind of like it's like paraphrased or like, a word play on it and whatnot. But yeah, like Gonzo as Dickens, yeah, he's the narrator,
I mean, and I gotta say, them picking Rizzo and Gonzo as to be the narrators for the story was a stroke of genius.
Oh God, yeah.
Like that movie would be they're back and forth just in general as characters. They're two of the most fun characters to watch because of their friendship and also how different they are in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And just like throughout the movie, the little weird little problems that they're running into like throughout it.
Do you think we're fine sitting here by this window?
Yeah, he's saved. What's gonna happen? Yeah. But I thought like Gonzo being the narrator, and just because like because even if you look at the cast list, it even says Gonzo as Charles Dickens.
Yeah, no, like they literally have in IMDb, they have a Gonzo and a Rizzo IMDb acting credit, an acting credit page, with just that as their only credit from the Muppet Christmas Carol.
I thought it was so cute.
It's just like
it's like super personifying these characters.
Well, that was actually a really cool thing. Like at the beginning of the movie, is that's how they present this movie as if the Muppets are real.
Yeah.
You know, like because like and in a way like their personalities are real. These characteristics that we've come to know and love, like they are very much real.
Yeah.
So like when you see Gonzo as Charles Dickens, Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit, you know, it's like reading your, you know, like your high school list of like who's your friends cast in the play, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really fun, actually.
Well, even like when Rizzo and
Rizzo has himself.
Yeah, and Rizzo as Rizzo. But even with Gonzo playing Charles Dickens, when they're first introducing, welcome to a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Charles Dickens. And Rizzo's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
here?
he's like really confused. And then he just kind of goes with it. He's like, all right, whatever. Like,
oh, yeah, well, if you really know it, explain it to me.
Oh, I don't like the back of my
hand.
Yeah. So that was really cute. Because it would just been weird if like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many Muppets they could have picked, but let's just say instead of Fonzie being his boss,
have Fozzie be the narrator.
Or you had Fozzie be the ghost of Christmas past.
Actually, I mean, if Fozzie was going to be any of them, he'd be the ghost of Christmas present.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. But it would just been, I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It would have taken you out a little bit.
I mean, it would have made it more about the joke of the Muppets as opposed to the story of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And that's really what they were focusing on, was making this the story of A Christmas Carol as if the Muppets existed in Charles Dickens' world.
I really want to give the ghost of Christmas present a hug. He looks like he'd be soft.
You mean, yeah, present, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a great Muppet as well.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Just the
size
alone was really cool. And the fact that it was kind of like based on like Saint Nick.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
not Santa Claus, but
yeah,
Satan. Like they actually did the Saint Nick thing with the long orange beard and
he's
the
all
robes.
jolly.
Yeah. And did you also think it was kind of funny that, you know how he kept repeating himself?
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's so in the present.
I don't know if that's actually a thing from the book.
No, I know, but I'm just like, is that the joke? I was wondering, is that the joke they're making?
I'm not sure.
Because he kept forgetting that he would say certain things, and it's because he's not thinking about the past. He's just living in the present.
I never thought about that.
So he's like,
yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Come in and join me, better man.
Come in and join me.
Did I already say that? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyways, and he just keeps living in the present. Mm-hmm. But that's what I thought.
No, I think that's a really accurate like assessment of why the character acts that way.
Oh, okay.
That's a very good theater study thing right there. Actually,
cool.
It's a thing you think about when you're acting.
Gold star.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks.
The Ghost, and then like I really like. Oh, also how the Ghost of Christmas Present, like slowly got older so quickly
because it was going into the future. Mm-hmm. Like he only
lives in the present.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, like how like the gray started to happen really quickly. Like, it was just really cool.
I really want to go in and look how they made that puppet, that one specifically, because there was one for its size and then how much movement it had too.
I'm really curious. Do you know anything about Avenue Q?
We've talked about this.
A little bit, yeah.
The musical?
Yeah.
Yeah, the puppet musical.
Yeah.
We talked about this, man, not for a long time.
Yeah.
But we talked about this.
if there's ever a touring thing of like, if we could ever like, if there's ever like a chance to see that, we should definitely go, or you should definitely try to go, because it is hilarious.
And it's just cool, like the puppeteering.
Yeah, because because you see the actual like puppeteers on the stage, but you're not taken out of it in a really cool way.
That's cool.
And then also there's like this one puppet that is literally the size of the stage.
Really?
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's a really cool scene. But yeah, no, I think because I mean the whole story of Avenue Q is like these people that were, I think they worked on Sesame Street. They got fired from Sesame Street for some reason and whatnot, and I think it was because they wanted to make more adult like humor things and whatnot, and then so they went to Broadway and just like made an adult puppet show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it vulgar?
Very.
Oh. It kind of goes into the Happy Time Murder thing then. I'm going to give it a try, but it's like if I
mean, it's still, so the idea of Avenue Q is because like, you know, Sesame Street is what is like Sesame Street. Imagine Sesame Street is like where the upper class lives.
Oh, okay.
And then Avenue Q is like the low income.
Oh, I never put that together.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's Sesame Street, Avenue Q. Okay,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So back to Muppets. The Ghost of Christmas, Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Always just, I mean, I like the classic Grim Reaper look. I liked that there was no face. It was just like a void of a hole to look into.
Yeah, the design was very simple but very cool. The robes, even the hands were really like long, slender fingers.
Salad fingers. Look at my rustus.
I follow that artist on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I also like during the entire like segment of Christmas Yet to Come, I really appreciated that they actually like they tilted the camera angles.
Yeah, everything was kind of
like just off.
Yeah,
which is like, I mean, very like it's very much like with this like this moment is meant to push Ebenezer over the line essentially into to where he will he can't go back to being like the crotchety old man.
Yeah.
Crotchety old man. Make him, he's to completely redeem himself and whatnot. So like to have just kind of like everything kind of a jar, it's kind of jarring, like it's his world is getting jarring and we're experiencing that jarredness.
Yeah. And it's also like, I mean, granted, in any kind of like movie you see or in like London, you know, it's a very gray cobblestone.
Yeah.
But they just made it a little more bleaker and subtly a little more gray. And like you were saying too, like even the door frames were just slightly askew, just to give it this unnerved, stark future.
It's unsettling for us to see.
Yeah.
You know, because we're I mean, even though in our everyday life we kind of see all different angles and whatnot, but when you're looking at a flat, like a TV screen or like a painting, we generally like to see things kind of like perpendicular or parallel. It's like that's pleasing. As soon as things start getting a weird skewed from each other, it starts to become unsettling to the eye.
Yeah, like stressful. And yeah, that was...
dude, when he shows up at Bob Cratchit's house and Yet to Come and Tiny Tim's gone, I'm just like, still, like, I'm so sad. The chair next to the fireplace with his crutch and his hat.
There's just always with this too. It comes to the Yet to Come, and like the future, whatever. And there's just something that has always, even like when we watch Scrooged again, there's something I find really unsettling about the sudden personality change
of the Scrooge character.
Of the Scrooge character. I don't know what I don't know. There's just some every time it's always like I like Christmas Carol weirdly up until that point, because then it kind of checks me out because I don't know. I'm like,
do you want him to just like remain in the grave or something?
No,
like to just kill?
No, obviously
and
not.
This is what you learned, Ebenezer. You will die.
Your thing went really red when you did that. No, but it's like, I don't know. It might just be the cynic in me. I'm like, people don't change. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
You know how many times I've tried to get people to change?
I just don't. What I think it is, it's just like, I think it's always just, and again, it's Christmas. It's kind of supposed to be, but it's like so over the top. It's like he opens the window and he talks to the little orphan boy and then gives them the money.
I really feel like Michael Caine did a great job of like having that joy and whatnot, but like having it still kind of like controlled. It felt very real still as Michael Caine did it. You know?
I don't mean the like specific actor. I just mean story arc wise.
Oh, there's just like the eureka,
the mania behind it, almost kicking down the door and then running through the street saying Merry Christmas and kissing babies' heads, and the whole thing. I'm like,
you don't really like A Wonderful Life, do you?
Oh no,
I don't. I mean, it's fine. You don't have to like it.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't have an adult opinion about it.
That's fair.
You know, but
I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But like, what I do like about it, it has that he has that voice.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, that like.
I can't think of the lines in the movie.
I can't either, but that era of voice.
Oh,
the radio talk.
Yeah. It's Mid-Atlantic is what it's called.
Mid-Atlantic, which I always really enjoy listening to people talk like that.
It's like a radio, but it's
yeah. I want to live. Like.
I was looking at you, kid.
Yeah. I almost went. You're gonna go far, kid. That's different. This is a weird episode. Sorry, everybody.
It is. It's been so all over the place. At least we're not talking about Shia LaBeouf for half hour.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's kind of like it. I did think something kind of, speaking of like Michael Caine too, and just something I thought was kind of cute, just to imagine, is that. So obviously, pretty much you very rarely see the Muppets' legs because they're puppeteers, so they have to do like this shot, but basically all along the set, I guess it would be like trenches, like little indents where they could like.
I was
hide.
actually thinking about that at one point while I was like, as the camera was moving and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, that's just like the set's like elevated.
Yeah, but apparently Michael Caine had to be very careful to not fall into those trenches.
Oh, of course.
But I just didn't think of it. So like all the dance numbers where there was like a lot of stuff happening, he had to really keep an idea of where his mark is so he just wouldn't fall into the ditch.
Hey man, dance training and theater training will fucking get you down to that shit. You learn your steps and you know your mark, so you don't fall in those holes.
I just thought that was like cute little, like all these Muppets running around and Michael Caine like, oh shit. All right.
How many hands do you think he stepped on?
I don't know, but I can imagine him being really cute and apologetic about it.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, like
Actually, one thing that I like, I think it was during the opening musical number, and just like all of the different Muppets.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, no, that's a great song.
That was a good that fit in because it introduces you to.
Yeah,
and even his shot when it gets all dark and he comes out and he's like kind of in the shadows.
Most of the time, introductory songs like that fit in perfectly for a musical because that's what their job is, to set the tone and the characters.
Yeah.
So it's like those always make sense, and in a lot of ways. It was just the next song that I was just kind of like, really, and this is what we're doing now, was when Kermit was closing up shop.
Yeah, I was like trying to remember what the song was.
Like,
that was but real quick, that scene leading up to that song was really good.
Oh God, yeah.
With the nephew coming in, and Beaker and that was all really funny. And apparently that little rabbit that apparently they just like to be mean to him. Yeah. Like the creators, he's like the butt of their joke.
Yeah, it's I think that character got introduced in Muppets Take Manhattan, maybe.
Oh, and they're just always mean to him because I don't recognize him in like any other one.
Oh, really?
That I've watched. I don't know if he like fell. There's a lot because over time a lot of Muppets just fell off, like they got put to the side and just never made a reoccurrence, or they did years and years later. Or
I see what you're saying. I mean, you should watch that Muppets show that we were talking about, where it's kind of like an office setting thing, because they have a lot of Muppets like burnt, like there's like they're in the background, like little like bits of them and whatnot all over the place.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And also the eagle.
Oh, Sam.
It starts to become a more prominent character as well.
work hard. It is the American way. And then Gonzo whispers, it is the British way.
Yeah.
That made me laugh way too hard.
I laughed pretty hard at that too.
I was like,
But no, what I was thinking about like during the opening number was like, man, there's a lot of puppets. This is a lot of puppets. There's a lot of just
Carol?
a lot of like, yeah, I'm just like just a lot of like very individualized specific puppets for just this opening number.
well, no, because
like,
you're saying,
Jesus.
a lot of them are like a lot of them were like the background were reoccurring characters.
Yeah.
That I recognize. Like I remember 3 of them.
It started to make me wonder like how many of these are just like it's like the same puppet like design, but they just dressed it differently. You know, it's like this is like okay, so like Fozzie Bear when he's the boss, and then you have a Fozzie Bear and then his mom. It's literally just 2 Fozzie Bear
One with a white wig.
One with a white wig and one in a
Eyelashes.
dress. Yeah, it's just like they're just literally just used a Fozzie Bear, prototype essentially. You know,
That's what you're saying. But I was just thinking, like, even in that opening scene, there are 3 of them that I remember being in Pirates of the Caribbean, and Treasure Island, and
oh, that would be so good though. I could
Pirates of the Caribbean Muppet movie.
I just want to see Jack Sparrow and like interact with the Muppets.
Oh my god!
Right? That would be amazing.
That would be really cool, actually. Weird little frog creature, like
what are you supposed to be?
yeah, what are you supposed? That'd be like get them line up where they're like, because certain ones are really clear.
Did I eat a bad cactus?
Well, it's like clear. Oh, that's what you could do. Like so Kermit's a frog. Piggy, Miss Piggy's a piggy. The ones that are very clearly what they are. Mm-hmm. Go down the line and then get to Gonzo and go, I have no idea what that is. And then there's anyways. But yeah, a lot of those extras, I guess, were Muppets that I have seen and be around forever. I just think what would be maybe it'd be cool or really spooky to go into like the Muppet warehouse where they're all stored. I think that would, I don't know, like, a million eyes just stare. Like, I'm imagining them actually being like propped up.
like hanging.
Hanging like all limping.
And then Kermit's like, "Roar," and comes at you. I don't know. I mean, it could be, it might be a little unsettling at first, but I think that'd be actually pretty magical.
It would, but it's just a bunch of dead eyes staring at you.
Like, I mean, it's already a dead eye staring at you. What are you talking about?
It's talking and singing and moving. Not hung up on the wall like a trophy. Final thoughts?
I mean, it's Muppets. Fucking watch it.
Yeah. Why not? Like, and also it's an hour and 20 minutes of your life. I think
it's like, not long. Like it's fun. It's enjoyable. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it. Mm-hmm. If you have seen it, watch it again.
Like I said, I think that's just gonna, because I own a lot of them. I think I'm just gonna pull them out of storage and I'm gonna watch.
Are you watch them all?
Yeah. Like I can't say how much I recommend Treasure Island. I love that.
Well, I mean,
one.
you also really like pirates as well.
Yeah, I like anything pirate. Yeah. I like pirate shit. And I guess especially with this is kind of, if you are a Muppets fan, this one's cool to watch because they did really change their trajectory in a lot of what they were doing from the old.
Yeah, I mean, because even Muppets Take Manhattan, I feel like was kind of still more in their original Muppet way.
Yeah,
I feel like it's definitely the beginning of Brian Henson's hand. He's like, this is where I want to take the Muppets.
Yeah, this is where I want to, because there's even a scene where Kermit and Tiny Tim are walking down the street, mm-hmm. and he's like, you're actually seeing him taking steps.
Yeah,
and it's weird to see.
Yeah, it was kind of disorienting, but
yeah, it's weird to see the Muppets' feet.
But I mean, out of all the Muppets that have actually had feet and legs, the longest is Kermit.
Yeah, but moving.
Yeah,
him actually walking down the street was just kind of weird. It was kind of cool.
Even the penguins kind of sliding around was weird.
Yeah.
Until it was the back and forth where it was clearly on a set.
Yeah, just that's true. Yeah, I mean, I can't actually think of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Caine's great in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's magical Muppet Land.
Well, guys, that'll be it for the Muppets, I guess. Next week on our
Next
side
week
B,
we're going to be doing Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol.
God damn.
I've been waiting to say that for a minute. We're not.
No.
We're not doing that.
Next week we're doing a side B. We'll probably still be talking about the Mandalorian stuff. Because there's actually I found out there's 3 episodes from never mind. And then we wanted to talk about Christmas specials like that we remember from kids, like from TV shows and stuff and whatnot.
Well, yeah, we'll get that ready, but who knows? Maybe we'll just follow the same thing and it will turn into a very ransom.
Shia LaBeouf.
We're going to be talking about Shia LaBeouf again, everybody.
Side B for LaBeouf.
For both. All right, everybody. Well,
thanks for listening.
And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.
Signing off.
Good night and good luck.